What was the worst dating experience you've had and why? Met a lovely girl over Tinder. We really hit it off and had a great conversation. Decided to meet in person for coffee the next day. She showed up on time, looked just like her pictures and brought her boyfriend. She ordered 3 bottles of wine at dinner. I had maybe 3 glasses total. Which means she had 9 glasses on her own. When she tried to order a 4th one, the waiter cut her off. She caused a scene and got us kicked out of the restaurant. I called her an Uber and while we were waiting she pissed herself in the parking lot. Basically poured her into the backseat of her Uber and went home. She texts the next day, "Hey, sorry I missed our date last night. I must have taken a nap and slept through it. Reschedule?" I went on a first date with a guy. He was very educated and polite. He was friends of a friend's and they set up as they failed to mention that he just got out of a 5-year relationship and was not over her in the slightest. We went to a restaurant he frequently took his ex to, which I found out 10 minutes into the date. I would try to change the subject when he mentioned her, but it was obvious he needed someone to vent to, so I spent the date letting him get out his thoughts, emotions about his ex. He wasn't a bad guy, he just wasn't in a position to be dating anyone. Went on a first date. Waited 60 minutes for food at the restaurant. Cue awkward conversation. Went to a movie and the movie jammed in the middle and we had to wait 20 minutes for them to fix it. Cue awkward conversation. On the way home, the car broke down and he insisted we couldn't call any of my brothers or sisters for a ride, so we walked 4 miles home. In the snow. We have been married for 37 years. Okay. I was a sophomore in college and went on the worst Tinder date of my life. This guy invites me to Reali Bro Y college bar. He shows up in sweatpants. I bought us the first round of drinks, but he never got another round, so that was it. I definitely wasn't drunk enough for this. I'm trying to make the most of this because he's cute and I only wanted something casual anyway. I was truly trying to make conversation, but every answer he gives is about football. He said he was on the team. A Google search later on proved that to be false. I asked him what he did for fun. Football. What other hobbies he had? Working out after football practice. Does he enjoy any games or anything? Madden. He also took a phone call in the middle of the date. While he was talking on the phone right in front of me, I was looking at the decorative signs all over the bar. I was too young to get up and just walk out, but I really wish I would have at this moment. When he hangs up the phone, he sees me scanning the signs on the wall and says, "So you like to read, huh?" We left shortly after. He insisted on walking me home. We get to my apartment building, he goes in for a hug. While grabbing me, he whispers, "I was really hoping to get a piece of this tonight. You can't be serious right now." I say, "Maybe next time," and run away. I didn't hear from him again until the following weekend, Saturday night, 2 AM. I went on a Tinder date that ended in me leaving because his friends showed up at his place with a stolen goat. They wanted to kill it and try to get in touch with the spirit world. I wish I was kidding. Not me, but my uncle told me about a date where he picked the girl up and on the way to their destination she asked, "Would you mind if I fart?" I'm super gassy and so he was like, "UHH no I guess not," and rolled down the window for her like a gentleman. Sophomore year of college, my roommate and I decided to double date. It was the first date for both of us and we invited the guys to our apartment to watch A Knight's Tale. My date got drunk within 20 minutes and spent most of the movie face down in my lap mumbling "It's just so anachronistic," while my roommate and her date cuddled and laughed at me. Probably any of the dates with my abusive ex when she would throw a public tantrum to test me. For example, the last time we went out together before I managed my escape, we were going to the zoo. She wants to cross the road. I ask why and point out we can't get to the zoo from that side. She immediately goes into a screaming hissy fit, shouting, tears, the whole works, right there in the middle of the street in a very busy city. I was pretty used to it and done with the whole thing by this point in our relationship. Previously I would have been desperately trying to comfort her, but this time after she wouldn't tell me what was wrong I just walked away. Tears dry up, comes running after me, finally explains there's a shop across the road she wants to visit. 10 years later I can still feel the exasperation with how bloody stupid the whole episode was. He took me out to dinner, talked about his ex the whole time, and I mean the whole time. I don't care if you mention your ex, but goddamn. I went on a date with a guy who not only felt that I was emasculating him because I won't let him pay for my meal and drinks. It was a first date and I believe in splitting the bill on the first date so that no one feels they're the other. He kept demanding that I let him pay and I kept saying it's fine when he blurted out just let me pay, damn it. How the fuck else am I gonna get lucky tonight? Date ended there and then. I don't sleep with people of the first date either. It made my school year awkward though because we shared a lot of classes, but for the most part I avoided him. I yawned, not because I was bored, but because I'd been doing major overtime at work. He poked me in the tongue, then asked if I wanted to go back to his apartment to watch ISIS documentaries and chill. It was like a fifth date. First night I stayed over at my partner's house. We both thought her family had gone away for the weekend and were somewhat vocal as a response. The morning proved us wrong when her mother congratulated us over breakfast she had specially prepared. She offered us tips and practical advice, also gave us a thumbs up. Best meal ever. Mortifying at the time, however. Not me, but I was heavily involved in setting up the date. I set up a good friend, a girl with a guy I used to work with. Later that night after the date, she called me up and said I think I'm related to him somehow. We go sleuthing on Facebook and text each other updates. And after an hour of talking to some distant relatives, we are dead certain that he's her nephew a couple of times removed. She calls me up sobbing, saying they had already had sex twice after that first date. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe if you enjoyed. Make sure to comment, like.